Okay. So, Rohini, now to our last section, which is the far-reaching impact of gut microbiota. So, are there any specific benefits of using prebiotic in metabolic disease, metabolic syndrome?
Yes. Like we discussed in the first section also, that metabolic diseases are usually because of prolonged inflammation and this imbalance in the absorption of nutrients and the utilization of nutrients in the body and the hormonal disturbances. So whether it is diabetes or it's hypertension or non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is called MASLD now, all of these, and also our brain function and our mood regulation, etc., everything is regulated, and research is now showing that it finds its roots in the gut. Everything can be connected to how your gut is doing in the end. So yes, there has been a lot of research in using probiotic, prebiotic and symbiotics in managing diseases which are related to metabolic syndrome.
Correct. And in fact, I remember I was asked to speak on, probiotics and prebiotics and renal health. And I saw so
Yeah,
much of
so much
data and
research.
literature on that. Oh my God, it's amazing to see how it can actually help.
Yes.
And it's wonderful. And we do see now, the nephrologists are prescribing probiotics. And of course, we with the diet, a good mix of pre and probiotics. And to help, definitely prolong and at least prevent the progression of
Yes.
CKD.
So
Now,
one
what is
major
gut?
thing,
Yeah,
just one small thing. Major thing that we all face is the epidemic of obesity these days, and
yeah,
gut dysbiosis is one of the major causes for the kind of dysregulation we see in the appetite, their satiety, whether it is their mood or cravings. All these can be connected back to the gut and the kind of bacteria that are proliferating in the gut. There are a lot of supplements which are the probiotic and symbiotics which are there in the market now, which target people with who are struggling with obesity. So the short chain fatty acids that are produced, acetates, butyrates, and propionates. All of these are essential for regulating the energy metabolism in the body. Then mobilization of fat for energy, that is another aspect. Then your gut integrity, like I said, everything ultimately it's repetitive, but it does come down to that. How well are you absorbing your nutrients, and if there is any inflammation in the body? So once all these things are taken care of, and you need to combine it with exercise and a healthy diet and adequate sleep and stress management. We cannot hold anything in isolation. You cannot say I'm going to take this supplement or going to change my diet and then I'm a couch potato, or I'm dealing with stressful situations where I'm not having any rest, no relaxation, or not having proper sleep. So all these things together basically would work. And for obesity there have been results which have been seen with probiotics, but again, in conjunction with good exercise and stress management and sleep management.
I think that's so
And
important.
dietary
Very
modification, a lot of
important.
fibers.
Everything, it has to be a holistic approach. Just doing anything in silos is not going to help. So that's such an important message that you've given. And also, very important, Rohini, is how long, suppose they're on a supplement, how long should they take that supplement? I think that is also a very often asked question. And people
Yeah.
sometimes they'll take it for a few days, they stop taking it, maybe because of cost being a barrier, or just that they forget or they don't want to take it, and some people will keep taking it forever. So what is the, what is like the course that is recommended in terms of uh, probiotic supplementation?
I will always say consult the doctor. If your gut is coming into a homeostasis situation, you don't essentially need to have a very expensive supplement to keep maintaining it. You can maintain it with regular diet. We've talked about so many examples of diet. You can buy probiotic curd, you can buy yogurts, you can buy lassi, drinks, ice cream, chocolate. It's all there now. You choose your foods. You can have probiotics from all of these. You do not actually essentially need to have supplements all your life when it comes to probiotic, because ultimately we are having them from our food. We are able to modulate it through our diet, You need to have a good high fiber diet, which is balanced. And if you're having good exercise, you will not need to depend on supplements all your life. But again, before, if you feel your target was to lose a certain amount of weight, probably, or you're talking about irritable bowel disease, and if you're able to come to a state where you are comfortable and you feel like you're doing good with a regular diet, which is, prescribed by the dietitian, you should be able to wean yourself off the supplements. I don't believe there is a, lifelong dependency on this. It's not
Correct.
like thyroid medication, which you need to take all your
Absolutely.
life.
I think that's again very important for people to know that you have to consult your doctor
Yeah.
or your
Yeah.
dietitian. Again,
Yeah.
aware about this and knows about it, and
Yes.
then you take your decision in terms of how long you want to take it and
Yeah.
which
Yes.
one to take.
And
As
again,
we, it's
another
not a
very
one
important
size
thing
fits
is
all.
your nutritional deficiencies. If you're having, deficiencies of vitamin D, B complex, iron, you are going to have a lot of, issues with your energy metabolism. So let's just understand that everything is interrelated. You cannot look at, obesity. It is a whole syndrome. It is not a single point, thing which you can treat with one little tweak in the diet or whatever.
Uh,
So
and now it's
that
called a
holistic
disease, so to
approach.
say. It's ABCD,
Yeah.
adiposity based clinical disease. So that is, I mean,
Yeah.
it's become so important, and we
Yeah.
have to look at it. I mean, more than obesity, it's adiposity that we have to look at, and
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
maintaining and preserving our muscle mass and
Yeah.
losing the fat, especially the visceral fat, is
Mm.
important.
True.
Now let's go on to, what is this gut brain axis? We keep talking a lot about it. So what is gut brain axis? And we, as we say, gut is the second brain. We always talk about it. So, what is the
Yeah.
gut brain connection?
Okay. So everybody must have heard these days about the vagus nerve, right? The vagus nerve is one of the longest nerves, and it connects the gut with the brain and a lot of vital organs as well on the way. So, your probiotic supplements, or your substrates that are produced by the healthy microorganisms in the gut, they help to stimulate the vagus nerve, keeping it healthy. And they have a lot of these substances have neuromodulatory effects. It can affect the neurotransmitters that are produced by your body, including things like serotonin, your tryptophan metabolism involved in that. Then you have GABA, you have dopamine, and norepinephrine. So all these are, neurotransmitters that can control your mood, control your response to stress. Your overall well-being is dependent on these. So the short chain fatty acids, again, we are coming back to it, they have neuromodulatory effects and protective effects. So which is why there has been science which says that in Alzheimer's disease also, if you are in early stages, if it is detected, oral use of probiotics helps to manage these symptoms and prevent further brain degeneration, and cognitive function can be restored to a great extent by use of these probiotics. They are finding application in these things also. So they say, jaisa khaye ann vaisa hoye man. You've heard of that statement. We've
Correct.
now proven it with science backwards. you know,
They say we are
we
what we eat. We
yes,
are what.
yes, and your state of mind. They are not talking about the body, man. So they're talking. Man is not your, the higher elevated self. It is your mood influenced self, which is the man. So
And your
yes,
food
it is.
impacts your mood, and your mood impacts your food. I think it
Yes.
works in a bi-directional way.
Yes, and again, like I said, if your gut is proliferating in the unhealthy bacteria, your cravings will be for all the kind of wrong foods, whether it is high salt, high fat, high sugar. So those are the kind of foods you'll crave to, suppress that mood, craving, or mood imbalance that you're feeling, or low mood that you're feeling. So which is why people say, no, when I'm feeling low, I go for bag of
Chocolate,
chips, or fried
ice cream, or
chocolate.
some
Yes.
fried, yeah,
Yes,
stuff.
something sweet, or you
Correct.
crave, after meals, people tend to crave something sweet. Now, with
Absolutely.
people who've taken supplements, there have been reduction in cravings also. So it is about, it's not you who's, you can absolve yourself from that responsibility. It's not me, it's my bacteria. And if the bacteria are healthy, they're not going to ask you to look for something, very unhealthy to eat.
Correct. I think very well answered. And now we're talking about liver, and again, today we are seeing that, especially in India, a lot of people today with, I mean, what we used to call fatty liver, and now we say MASLD, that's
Yes.
metabolic associated, you know, um, steatotic liver disease. That's MASLD. And we're seeing a lot of cases, even in the young children that they have seen. Today, even our school going children have, MASLD. And this is a case of worry because, again, it goes back to what are our kids eating and the kind of lifestyle that we're living. And,
Yes.
I'm really worried for the next generation because the kind of lifestyle we're exposed to. So, how does probiotic and prebiotic help in maintaining a healthy liver?
Okay, so there is also something known as a gut liver axis. Okay, so the short chain fatty acids that are produced by the bacteria in our gut are taken up by the epithelial cells of the lumen, and they are transported to the liver, where the hepatocytes use them for energy metabolism. Okay, so the it use of probiotics, especially one of the strains called Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG strain. There is extensive research which is showing, research has shown that it has a fatty acid modulatory effect on the liver. It helps to reduce the overall weight of the liver, which was attributed to fat, reduces triglycerides, reduces the reactive oxygen species. It reduces inflammation both in the liver as well as in the gut. Okay, and it helps to eliminate this situation of fatty liver effectively over a period of time. So this is where I think, because it's one of the very difficult things to manage, to reverse, a fatty liver, non-alcoholic, that is MASLD. So very difficult to reverse it, because a diet is an important part. Again, stress comes in here as well. So your energy metabolism is impaired, and which is why the excess glucose and converts into fat and is in the liver. And this energy metabolism is what it corrects. Okay, it reduces the triglycerides, and multiple strains also have been used, but up to 10 to the power of 8, 10 to the power of 9, and even up to 10 to the power of 10 levels of daily supplementation of Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG has shown very promising results in this.
Very interesting to know. So now we know that, okay, obesity, liver health, renal
Yeah.
conditions. Now
Yes.
let's talk about cancer. So, is there
Yeah.
any role of, say, probiotics, symbiotics in cancer? Because we are seeing a lot of cases, and, if we
Yeah.
can prevent it, I think that's the key. I think all of us, the goal should be prevention. I think
Yes.
that's the most important thing. And if we can prevent it with food, why not?
Yes. So we do all know that Helicobacter pylori is one of the main causes for stomach related cancer, and colorectal cancer is because of poor diet choices and inflammation of the gut. So both these things basically add on together, and lactobacillus and bifidobacterium strains of probiotics have been found to help when it comes to alleviating symptoms as well as for prevention. When you find colorectal cancer in people and you do the analysis, you will find lower levels of these lactobacillus and your bifidobacterium compared to harmful bacteria such as fusorobacterium. So you need to understand that gut balance is extremely important, and it has a protective, like I said, the gut gets protected. There is no leaky gut, there is no inflammation, there is no transmigration of toxins that are produced by the pathogenic bacteria, and also transmigration of the bacteria into the blood circulation. And then these are the reasons where the body is always in a fight or flight mode. The inflammation is chronic, you will have cancer developing because it is not able to cope beyond that. And even your immunoresponse is modulated by short chain fatty acids in the gut. So, having a healthy gut and diet, again, high fiber diet, it cannot be underemphasized, is one of the most important things. The magic of it is we don't digest it, but it is one of the most vital things in our diet.
Absolutely. I think fiber
Yes.
is so, and that's why we say fill up on fiber as much as you can. Of course, even that not in excess because some people go overboard. And then
Yeah.
that's also
Yes.
anything in excess.
That
And
of course.
I think when you were saying H. pylori, today we're seeing a lot of cases of H. pylori,
Yeah.
Rohini. And
Yeah.
honestly, I tell people, because today everybody wants to eat healthy and we're promoting healthy eating, but people go out and eat raw salads in a five-star restaurant or maybe in a buffet. And that is something I tell people don't do because that
Yeah.
is where your H. pylori comes from. And there
Oh,
is, there are studies which have been published to show that uh, people from the elite class who eat at five-star restaurants actually have more H. pylori infections. And
just
if not
imagine.
treated on time, it can
Yes.
cause
Yes.
havoc. And I think
Yes.
that's another
Know
message
the
that we would,
source.
yeah,
Always
that
know the
if
source of what you're eating, and if it's cooked, it's
absolutely
better. It's always better to eat cooked.
I always tell
Yeah.
them that outside, ask for lightly sauteed, stir fried, whatever. Of course, tell them to put less oil, but don't eat raw outside. And
Yeah.
because most people will eat those healthy salads, which in no way are healthy because the dressings are loaded with fat, it's
Yeah.
got sugar, and again, we
Mhm.
don't know the source of these veggies,
Yeah.
how well they are washed and the hygiene issues that are associated with it. So I think we've had an excellent session. I must tell you, Rohini, you have so much knowledge, and it's
No, I'm
amazing. It's really nice, and I'm sure our viewers will benefit from this session. If you want to just summarize, whatever we've discussed, just in a small capsule, just a few pointers. One is like, how does one diagnose to, treat in
yeah.
terms of pro, postbiotics and symbiotics? What is the message that you want to give our viewers?
All right. So basically, I think the first most important thing is to accept the fact that we are loaded with microorganisms and they are doing us a lot of good. And, another very important thing I think we need to emphasize, do not pop pills, do not just take random antibiotics. You have to be very particular. In India, unprescribed antibiotics, I think, are a menace. People just go to the chemist, and the chemist is king. He will tell you whatever antibiotics to take, and you, all the
And
good
one
that
more thing,
you've
sorry,
done.
Rohini, I'm
Yeah.
interrupting here, but I think when
Yeah.
it comes to antibiotics, so people think, okay, antibiotics are killing the good and the bad bacteria. So I have to take probiotics. So what they'll do is
Yeah.
take a antibiotic and take a probiotic with it. And we've seen, because sometimes people they don't have the patience maybe, or they don't
Yeah.
want to take
To
too many
wait.
things in gaps. So they take everything together, not
Yeah.
realizing that actually it's going to do no good to them. So I think I want you to just touch upon
Yeah.
this point. When should you take a probiotic if you're on an antibiotic?
I think you should manage with the diet initially when you are on the antibiotic if you have a major stomach issue which you cannot
Correct.
digest. Okay, so then you go with lassi and chach and these kind of kanji and these kind of things you should have. All right, so that will give you the basic amount of microorganisms but not overload your system. And secondly, once you finished your antibiotic, I think that is when you should actually take your logically, but I have seen all doctors are prescribing it with the medication during the entire dose of the antibiotic. I'm not sure how much of it gets retained because the numbers are pretty large. But
And also the
still,
space
your
then needs to be maintained.
overall
If you're doing that, then you have
benefit.
to space them out. You can't be
Yes.
taking an antibiotic and a probiotic together. It's going to not work.
It's it's going to you're going to lose the effect of that
Absolutely.
bacteria which has gone in. And there are a lot of these encapsulations now available, micro encapsulation, nano encapsulations of bacteria which help us to bypass the stomach acids and the alkalinity after the biles are released, and it reaches the gut in a more intact format where it is viable and it is able to
Correct.
latch on, because it is all about numbers. If the pathogenic microorganisms are in large number, they will repel, and they will, they'll compete for space and nutrients with the healthy bacteria. So the point is to proliferate the healthy bacteria, to be the major microbiota in your system, and try and keep the pathogenic bacteria at the minimal. Even if you do need to take antibiotics, make sure that you are compensating over a period of time. It is not like magic, aaj ek le liya aur ho gaya. It's not like that. Even with the supplements, you have to take for a fair period of time, because it is a slow regenerative process. You cannot
Correct.
say magic hua aaj wand ghumai aur theek ho gaya ekdam. It is
And
not
that's
like
why
that.
also the foods that we eat when we are sick, the
Yeah,
simple curd rice, it's your
yeah,
khichdi with dahi. So again,
yeah,
going back to basics and eating simple food, which will again help you in early
yeah,
recovery and help you restore your gut health.
yes,
So thank
yes,
you so much. And with the, I think the message
yes,
that we're getting here is again, know your pre-probiotics, synbiotics, postbiotics, and they're there in your day-to-day food. Of course, you will
mhm,
need supplementation if required. So one is get yourself diagnosed, and there are tests like you said. There is a stool test, and there is breath test, and there's urine test.
yes, yes,
Consult a qualified professional. Start
mhm,
if you need to start on probiotics. Today you get pre and probiotic combinations, but
yes,
very important is to still look at food to be
yeah,
your source of giving you the healthy pre and probiotics. And our traditional Indian foods are good enough. You really don't
very,
need to
very good.
invest in very
Yes,
expensive foods which are not locally available. So
yes.
that is most
So,
important, and make it a part of
having
our day.
another, to you get these probiotic foods in the market, you can make it into a symbiotic by eating your oats with curds, okay,
Correct.
or you are, putting some fruits, other fruits such as banana, etc., or berries into your curd or yogurt, which is probiotic. If you like indulgent ice cream, please have a probiotic ice cream. So you can convert your symbiote your regular probiotic foods into symbiotics by just making good smart combinations. And
Correct.
overall, what diet are you eating? That, I think, and again, your overall health in terms of your exercise, your gut microbiota is very strongly influenced by the exercise that you do. You have to have some kind of cardio, some amount of moving around, and again, it helps to regulate your hormones and neurotransmitters as well. So, and you sleep better. So everything falls into place if you're taking care of your diet, your stress, your
The
sleep, and
discipline is
exercise.
key. The
Discipline
discipline
is
is
there.
key. I think that
Yes,
is something
yes,
that, and it has to be sustained. I mean, whatever you
yes.
do has to be sustainable. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Rohini.
Most
It has been
welcome.
such a wonderful, discussion with you. So many insights and learnings, and looking forward to more such sessions with you.
Thank
So
you so
thank you.
much, Cheryl, and thank you so much for it's your brainchild. You pushed everybody and got it to happen. I
Yeah,
think
this
this
is
was much
important because,
needed,
yeah, we keep
much
cribbing
needed.
about people there, there are going to be those people, but I
Yeah,
think we also need to come strong. And I know we are all very busy, but at the end of it,
yeah.
I think this is something which will help the masses, and, at least let this be like a ripple effect where the right information passes through, and, people then start at least implementing some of these, takeaways that we have shared here.
And
So,
dispelling myth, I think that is another important thing. People,
most
there is this
important.
whole, fog about what is good, what is not good. Everybody is saying something else. So this, I think, their initiative in dispelling myths and misinformation, I think it is commendable. All the
Thank
best,
you so
Cheryl.
much. And
Keep
thank you
at
for
it.
your support and encouragement always.
Yes,
It means so much to me and
welcome.
everybody. Thank you so much. Bye,
Thanks.
everyone. And look forward to your feedback after the session. And also, very important is stay tuned, and we'll keep having such sessions. We'll have Dr. Rohini again with us for sure, discussing another interesting topic. Bye, everyone, and see you in the next podcast. Bye.
Thank you, Cheryl. Bye.